You're listening to Real Crime, the Movie Sleuth podcast.
None of us are awake.
Episode 1.
We're kind of autopiloting this mother.
Yeah.
Yep. 108.
108.
108. 108. If it was 180, we'd be in trouble because then we'd be hitting the what was that movie where everybody dies in premonition and then die in the same order that they would have died in the plane? Final Destination.
Yes. Oh, those were so good.
They are so fun. I just rewatched the first 3.
Yeah.
But if this was episode 180, we'd be screwed.
Yeah, because we'd all be dead right now.
We'd all be.
Well, we have 72 more episodes.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'll be alive that long.
You will.
Not to be morbid, but I'll probably be dead.
Aw.
Chris, we'll be putting your head in a jar.
Yeah.
Sweet.
You'll be back all Matt Groening style.
All right. So episode 108, tonight we're talking about career highlights of Mel Brooks. But first, we do need to mention our sponsors, the Flint Institute of Arts.
Woo!
Awesome venue. Check that place out. Lots of cool stuff to see there. They do have their weekly film series also, so always really nice stuff to check out.
It's worth hitting on a regular basis.
Yeah. And they're very, very nice people there, too. So make sure you check them out. Also, projectorscreen.com. They always have great sales going on there. Also, email us. We can get you guys a 10% discount on there. So check them out. And then, of course, our wonderful, wonderful friends at
Sellerman's.
Yeah. So Sellerman's, awesome meadery, not meatery.
Yeah,
definitely check them out too. They're local in Hazel Park. Good stuff.
Yeah. Good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. What else is there to say?
Nothing. There's nothing else to say.
Nothing at all.
It's just good shit.
Yeah. Just good shit.
Just good and gravy.
Yep. Oh my goodness. This has been an interesting night.
That's going to be the most awkward episode we've ever done.
I'm having fun.
Yeah, that's all
You're
matters.
having fun watching us go.
Yeah.
So what do we got for news?
All right, so in news this week, Armie Hammer is not Batman. We all jumped all over this shit last night.
I was so excited for it, too.
I was so excited for this, too. And unfortunately, it was not a hoax. It was going back to
an old rumor
about a Frank Miller version of Justice League that was going to be made. He had been initially rumored to play Batman in that. It never happened. We ended up getting the shitty Justice League movie that we ended up getting. And people just
that Frank Miller one would have been worse,
honestly. Probably.
Honestly. I shudder to think what that one could have been.
This whole thing with DC is just a nightmare.
DC needs to find a tone. That's the issue, is that they try to bounce all over the place between being fun, being serious, being a good straight-up action movie, being a dark, otherworld kind of thing. They just need to find a tone that works for their characters and stick with it.
They're also trying to do it too quickly. They're rushing their movies.
They are.
The Marvel
They really
Cinematic
are.
Universe had more time and years to build their...
Well, Marvel was smart. Marvel was like, let's try this and see if it works. If it works, we'll build on it. If it doesn't, we won't. And it worked.
Yeah. And unfortunately, the whole thing is falling apart on them right now.
I'm hoping the James Gunn Suicide Squad does some positive stuff. They just announced that indeed Harley Quinn will be in the movie. Unlike the rumor that went around for about 3 days where she was not going to be in the movie. So
Aquaman crossed the $1 billion mark, didn't it?
It did.
So they must be doing something right. They're still making money.
They have the characters. People don't go for the quality, they go for the characters.
Don't get me started on Aquaman.
I know, you're the guy who hated it.
Did you see it?
Yeah, I loved it.
Really?
I loved it.
Did you see it?
I did not.
Did you see it? No.
The only one I saw was Wonder Woman, and that's the only
That
one I'll
one
go
was
see.
so great.
Yeah,
that was so great.
And you say they only go for the characters, and I mean, I
Wonder Woman was kind of the exception to the rule because
that was me. I only went because of Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
It's like I like all the other characters, okay, but
Wonder Woman's
not
Wonder Woman.
enough.
Yeah.
There's other characters I'd love to see in either the Marvel or the DC universe that I doubt they will.
1984 Wonder Woman is going to be amazing.
Yeah, that's
I
gonna
can't
be fun.
wait to see Kristen Wiig as Cheetah.
Yeah, she's gonna be good.
What's the difference though? Like with the Wonder Woman thing, like they're just getting it right.
They've picked the right director, the right writer, the right crew, the right actors, the right everything. They pick and they let her have control. And with Snyder, they kept taking control from him and making him edit everything all to hell because he was going too dark. You know, instead of picking the right director in the beginning and saying this guy is the vision that we want for the rest of our series, we'll stick with what he does, let him do his movie. It became more of the Dune David Lynch thing and studios interfering in every step of it. And it really damaged first three movies. Man of Steel. The Man of Steel was great.
Henry
It was a
Cavill
great
was
movie.
kind of starting to pull out of those movies by the time Justice League rolled around, right? Because
he was wanting to be able to do other things because he was getting really good offers.
and he was kind of playing second fiddle to Batman in Batman vs Superman, really, where Man of Steel was the main star,
And he was really a good Superman in it.
Yeah, you know, when we saw Man of Steel, it was like me, Jesse, Heather, and I can't remember who else went with us. And when we first walked out, we were kind of like, kind of meh, not a big deal. And then like seeing it again, it really kind of, I got it.
There's a layer to that movie that I think a lot of, especially reviewers, missed. Because we're prone to go in and we look for excellence.
We
in
pull it
everything.
apart.
Yeah. And if you just sit back, shut up, and try to enjoy it, you'll catch some stuff in there.
Yeah, for sure.
That's just amazing.
So, in other news, Jason Momoa is going to be in Dune. And then we just learned tonight that David Dastmalchian, I don't know how you pronounce his name.
I don't
really
either,
hard.
but he's one of my favorite character actors
Yeah,
in
he's
Hollywood.
great. He's going to be in Dune also. And then yesterday we actually reported on the site that Eureka is releasing is it a remaster of Cujo?
Yes, I believe so, of Cujo.
So that's pretty sweet. I will definitely be buying that.
Yeah, I won't.
No.
Cujo fits into my Pet Cemetery rule. Like,
Oh yeah, you don't.
I can't do Pet Cemetery. Cujo was a great watch once. I finished it the one time. Watching poor dogs be villainized just was heartbreaking.
Yeah.
There's a Mondo steelbook of Pet Cemetery coming, I think. If it's not out
that
already.
again. That one will not be coming home with me.
We discussed this at length in the Stephen King series that took us 8 months to get through.
Only 8 months.
Sorry, it was 10.
and a half.
Yep. And then one really cool bit of news that hit yesterday was that at the New York Toy Fair, Hasbro officially said that Bumblebee has nothing to do with the Michael Bay series, that it is officially a reboot.
And you know what they're tying into it, right?
No.
Because they're starting a Hasbro universe as their entire concept. So I think they're starting it with Bumblebee. They're going to do one more Transformers, and then it sounds like they're going to do Mask and G.I. Joe, and I want to say Gem and the Holograms. Barbie, that's what it is. And it's Barbie with Margot.
She dropped out, from what I understand. I'm pretty sure.
Margot Robbie dropped out?
I think I heard that, but
I
don't
hope-
quote me on it. But
I haven't heard that one.
or you know, what I was thinking, no, it was Amy Schumer that dropped out.
Yes,
because
Amy
initially it was going to be
Schumer.
Amy Schumer playing Barbie.
Yeah.
Mara made the face.
Yeah.
I did too.
I try to be fair, but
Yeah,
she's not my favorite.
I like
Yeah.
her, but not for Barbie.
she's good in certain things, like
She
being
can be.
grating and annoying. But yeah,
I don't think she's that funny.
no, she's not.
No, she's
you
not.
can't, argue humor, really.
Yeah, you can.
You
She's
really
not.
can. She's not that.
People,
She's not.
people
that
love her, though, so it's like, what am I going to say?
Yeah.
She don't make me laugh, but she makes someone laugh, so.
And none of us are wrong.
And then our last little bit of news is, of course, everybody heard about the Jared Leto Joker thing, completely dumped.
Gone. Yeah.
gone.
It's
So-
where it was supposed to go.
Guess mailing used condoms to the cast members didn't pay off.
Yeah,
huh?
and I guess not.
Didn't pan out for Mr. Leto.
You mean they didn't appreciate that?
Not enough pigs' heads dropped in the middle of the table with all the cast members wondering what the hell is he doing.
I wish he'd send me one.
The used condom or the pig's head?
Both.
Both. I want it all.
I want it all. All right, so new releases this week. We've got How to Train Your Dragon, The Hidden World. I think this is like the 12th one of those.
Third.
Okay.
And
okay.
it's probably
18th.
the best animated series in the last 50 years.
Really?
I've heard that
Easily.
about that. I still haven't seen
Easily.
that one, but I heard
It
they're
actually,
really good.
deep, good,
Yeah,
emotional
I was going to say
story.
emotional is what I've heard.
Like, the second movie had most of the
Somebody
people
just
I
said
know.
Affleck for Barbie.
He'd be a good
Nice.
Ken.
Yeah, he would actually.
He's a little old.
Yeah, you know what I'm thinking? I'm thinking him like Mallrats days.
Yeah.
Mallrats him would be perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. When he was back
I
in his
love
butt
it.
man.
Butt man.
Who's your favorite new kid?
Oh, yeah. Joey.
And then other big release this week, Fighting with My Family gets a nationwide expansion. So not much coming out this week,
No, it's a slow season, though. You
Which
know?
is-
We're getting ready for the big stuff.
which is awesome because it means Alita, Battle Angel can make more money this weekend.
It bombed. Let's just call it what it is. It's
It
a bomb.
didn't technically bomb, but actually that's going to be my suggested viewing for this week. Did you see it yet?
I have no interest in.
It's really, really good.
I hate like everything I've seen. I cannot stand
This
the
is
visuals.
a live
are
action
hideous.
of an anime?
Yes.
a live action manga,
Okay.
or however you pronounce it. I'm stupid. But,
No, manga. It doesn't matter.
The
Tomatoes
visual
matter.
effects were really good, and there was actually a very good story to it too.
Mm-hmm.
I thoroughly enjoyed it. I did not expect to.
It's just that visual style just makes me want to.
Yeah,
gouge
it
out my eyes.
kind of gives you that whole. Are we in reality? Are we in an animated world? And the one scene at the very end, I did see somebody bring this up on a forum. It's completely like the pod race scene from the Phantom Menace all over again, and the announcer that's going on during it sounds exactly the same as the announcer from the Phantom Menace.
Oh no!
Yeah,
What
yeah.
an interesting scene to
Little callback there.
to repeat.
Yeah.
Well, what the part that when I saw in the movie that kind of threw me off. I mean, it seems like it'll be something I will watch at some point, but seeing the mostly CGI bodies with a human face just kind of smashed on it looks so.
It looks
off-putting
weird.
to me.
Yeah,
It
it,
does
puts
look
you into
weird.
the uncanny valley.
Yes,
Very much. It's
yeah.
creepy.
Yeah, and I saw the movie posters for it. That was actually what made me go. I don't know.
Quite.
So, Andrew, what
what's
would
your
be your
advice? I'll
suggested
watch it.
viewing for this week?
Oh gosh, what would my suggested viewing be for this week? The only thing in the last couple of weeks that really stuck out were both of the Fire Festival documentaries.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you need to see both of them, even though both of them have their own sets of biases and issues. But man, how did they pull off a scam like that? And how did that many people buy into it? I don't know. That's my recommendation for suggested viewing.
The general public can sometimes be fooled very, very easily.
It's not hard.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mara, what do you
my,
got?
My suggested viewing is Russian Doll on Netflix. Great little series, 8 episodes, 20 minutes. It's really unique story. I haven't seen anything that original in a long time.
It was excellent.
And I mean,
You can tell it's her passion project. Too.
oh yeah, yeah. And I've been a fan of Natasha Lyonne since Slums of Beverly Hills back in the 90s. I saw her in
Yeah.
that, and she just instantly kind of became
She's
you
been
know,
great in
hero to me.
everything I've
Yeah,
seen her in.
She really is. She really
I love
is.
her. I
She
love
was
her.
the mentor in American Pie, wasn't she?
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah. She was
yes.
the one that yeah, she was the one that knew everything that was going on.
Yeah, she was like the coolest character in that
The
movie.
Oracle, per se.
She really
Yeah.
was.
Yeah.
She was
Yeah.
really.
Yeah.
She was the wise one.
She was the Obi-Wan Kenobi of people's virginity.
Yes, she was cool, and she just she wrote, I think, every episode with Amy Poehler, and then there was another person's name, and she directed the last episode.
I guess it's been a passion project of hers for like 15 years.
Was that her
It's-
and But I'm a Cheerleader.
Yeah, that was
Yes.
good too. I love that movie.
God,
That's a
that
great
movie
movie.
was so good.
It is a really good movie too.
You ever seen But I'm a Cheerleader, Chris?
Yes. The crazy thing about Natasha Lyonne, though, is really her story. Just in general. I mean, she was really bad off there for 5 or 6 years.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
that's
I
right.
thought she was going to die.
Yeah, she was so off on heroin and every other drug under the sun.
And you could see it.
Yeah.
You could see it
Yeah,
in her
she was-
performances. Like,
very
Yeah.
unhealthy.
yeah.
But she's cool. That show, it just kept me. It felt like I watched it in like 5 minutes. It just keeps going, and the end was the whole time. I kept looking at my husband and going, after every episode, I'd go, "What do you think is gonna happen? What's gonna happen?" And he's like,
Yeah.
I don't know." But
Yeah.
I was really nervous about the end. I was like, this either is gonna be a really good payoff, or I'm gonna be pissed, or it's gonna be like, tune in to next season.
It sounds
you know?
like she has more
But,
in mind too.
And I liked the ending because it was very satisfying, but it does kind of
It
lead
lets
into,
you be done,
Yeah,
or it lets you continue. And
Yeah.
it was so I that made me very happy. I was very satisfied.
I can't recommend that enough. I mean, I think there's probably something for everyone in that story. It's really good.
I started it, but I was really tired when I started it, so I need to get back into
You
it.
do.
Yes.
You do.
Yes,
You'll
you
love
do.
it.
I will, hopefully this weekend.
I'm gonna break tradition tonight. I have two. One,
Okay.
we
That's
have
totally cool.
Umbrella Academy is must watch. It was so fun. It's only 10 episodes, hour an episode. Gerard Way's writing totally shines through. Great character development. Everything. I really enjoyed everything about it. It actually really captured Gabriel Ba's visuals too.
Wait, Gerard Way?
Gerard Way wrote Umbrella Academy.
Really?
Yeah, it's his baby. He wrote the comic book series.
The dude from the band.
The dude from the band.
The
And
guy
he's a
that really
damn
wants to be
good-
Billy Corgan.
The guy who makes Billy Corgan look like he has no talent.
Yes, that guy.
Because Billy Corgan,
What
first of all,
band?
is a giant douche. Huh?
What band?
He was the lead singer in My Chemical Romance.
Oh, okay.
My daughter's favorite band in the early 2000s. Yeah.
I didn't know that guy's
That
name,
I didn't
but,
realize
yeah.
I liked until like this year. I was like, God damn it, they're actually good.
Yeah, they have some good songs. I didn't realize I liked them until someone was like, "No, they do this song," and I was like, "Oh."
I was listening to a playlist and they kept coming up and I'm like, who the fuck? Oh, really? Really? And so took my daughter out to dinner Sunday and I had to actually confess to her that I've started liking My Chemical Romance.
Oh, she probably loved it.
She did, but she also slapped me for being an asshole.
You deserved it.
For 10 years.
Yeah.
Oh, I totally
Yeah.
did. I totally did. And so then my other one is a documentary that's on. The first part was on last night on Investigation Discovery. The second half is on tonight. It's called Children of the Snow. It's about the Oakland County child murders.
Okay.
And it is gut-wrenching. And it's even weirder because it's literally in my neighborhood where I live right now.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. It's like my 7-Eleven is one of the key places in the show.
Creepy.
Yeah. It's excellent. Excellent show.
When did those take place? Like in the mid 80s, right?
1976.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Nuts.
In Ferndale, Berkeley, Royal Oak, and Birmingham were the 4 places where the kids were kidnapped. But then it apparently also ties into Fox Island, which is on the west coast on Lake Michigan. That was a summer camp for boys. And in reality, it was a pedophile set this up and would fly kids out to this camp and bring his pedophile friends out and videotape them. And
That's horrible.
the whole thing is absolutely horrifying to watch.
That's, yeah.
And they have 2 of the kids that were on the island are on there. Like, it's intense, but it is really well done. And it's them trying to figure out who did the murders. And it's interesting. And it's especially if you're a Michigander, it's really our news. And it's really interesting.
All right, are we ready to do this?
Yeah, let's go on to something a little bit
Yeah,
lighter.
Yeah,
please
I'm
talk
Something
about.
a little bit more uplifting.
So we're talking about Mel Brooks tonight, and I'm looking at his credits, and really, he's acted and produced a lot more and written than he's actually directed.
Yeah.
But almost every movie he directed
Is legendary.
Is legendary or a classic.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna admit I've never seen The Producers.
I haven't either. I've seen like a bunch of
I own
clips
both
of it.
versions. How
Yeah.
can you not have seen it?
I don't know. I just got
Yeah, he's-
Andrew's head's going back.
He's appalled. We've deeply offended Andrew tonight.
I'm a little hurt too.
Andrew's like, I go home now.
Oh,
That is
That's it, I'm
probably
done.
my
I'm just kidding.
it's probably my second favorite Mel Brooks movie.
That's my top one. It's so funny.
I've seen like a lot of the clips, and I just haven't sat down and actually watched it.
Gene Wilder in that movie. Well, we'll get to it.
He's good.
One of the probably his funniest performance in my opinion, even funnier than Young Frankenstein.
Oh, see, I think he's funnier in Blazing Saddles.
I'm all wet
He's-
and I'm hysterical.
Yeah.
That's the scene I know very good with him. I'm hysterical.
I'm wet and I'm hysterical.
I mean, he's very frantic
Matthew
in that,
Broderick
but
in
not
the
so
remake
much in.
was really good too.
Well, why don't you guys talk about The Producers? Tell us about it. I want to know about it. Sell me on this movie.
Zero Mostel is a producer that keeps accidentally having hits. He figured out that if you can bomb a Broadway production, you can make more money than you can by having a successful show.
Okay.
And so Matthew Broderick is the...
Oh wait, we're talking about Zero Mostel and
sorry.
Yeah,
well,
we're talking about the
Matthew
original
Broderick.
film.
It doesn't matter. They're both the same story. Doesn't matter.
yeah, but we're talking about Mel Brooks' movie.
Yeah.
Mel Brooks's movie is also the Matthew Broderick one.
Well, he
since
produced
it.
he produced
and
it, but he didn't
wrote
direct it.
and is in it.
Yeah, but I think we should stick to the Mel Brooks actually directed one. Don't you guys?
That's what I was saying.
Yeah.
It's kind of six of one, half does the other to me. But
Well,
okay.
whatever.
That's my...
Tell me about the Mel Brooks one. I want to know about this movie.
So Zero Mostel and Gene Wilder set out to try and make the worst play they can imagine, and going through like a play about Hitler. Was it Springtime for Hitler? They tried to find the worst actors and the worst songwriters, and yeah, it shapes up to
They
be
find the worst of everything and make a great play.
And the play's actually great.
Oh, it's terrible, but
Okay.
but it makes everybody laugh so hard that it does well.
it winds up becoming a hit. Spoiler: we just spoiled the movie.
Yeah.
I saw the Curb Your Enthusiasm season with Mel Brooks, and they put Larry David in The Producers to try to do the same thing to make the play fail. So I know most of what I know about The Producers is from that.
And the music is amazing. Amazing. I mean, I want to be a producer with a hit show on Broadway. Don't be stupid, be a smarty. Come on, join the Nazi party. I mean,
That's
good shit.
It's kind of funny that you like the Nazi party thing. I mean, because really, Mel Brooks has touched on a lot of that stuff throughout his career too.
Well, yeah,
Well, he's Jewish.
He fought
I
he
know.
fought the Nazis.
Yeah.
He was part of a group of soldiers that their entire thing was to try to trick and ruin the morale of the Nazi party in during the war. They came up with giant inflatable fake tanks and stuff, and they would pretend to have these huge armies so that whenever they do flybys for spy and reconnaissance pictures, they'd think that they had like 15 times more troops than they really did. Wow. And then they'd take everything down and move them and then wait for the plane to come by and then be like, oh my God, they have even more over here. And really just humiliate them. And then they'd fly over and throw really insulting pamphlets out of airplanes onto the German troops and German cities to make them feel really bad about the fact that their girlfriends are back in Berlin getting stooped by the Jewish guy, you know, and it was good shit.
Yeah, he was born in 1926.
He was. He was.
Yeah, he's old.
He's crazy old.
The year after he was born, Babe Ruth had
Kubrick, I think.
What's that?
I said 2 years younger than Kubrick.
Yeah.
Kubrick was 1924, I think.
Wow.
Yeah, and Babe Ruth had was on one of the best baseball teams in history the year after that.
It's just crazy. Because, I mean, he's still talking. I mean, it's probably never going to happen, but they're still talking about, sequel to Spaceballs.
Oh, he desperately wants to do it.
Yeah, it's a lot, man.
Yeah.
Wow.
Carl Reiner still works on a regular basis, for Christ's sake.
Yeah, yeah. I just saw him. He was in Ocean's 8.
Yeah.
Did you see that movie?
No, I haven't gotten around
It was
to
actually really good.
I really want to see it.
Yeah. Sorry, I don't mean to sideline our topic.
No, it's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine. Carl Reiner and Mel Brooks
They go hand in hand.
They are literally hand in hand. Yeah. So I think we should skip back to the beginning.
Okay.
We have what's this first movie? The 12 Chairs?
No, the producers.
Producers was first.
Yeah.
First.
The first thing he did, I think, was he's co-creator of the Get Smart TV show.
Yes.
With Buck
Yes.
Henry, and they wrote, I
Yes.
think, the first 3 episodes.
Before that, it was him and Carl Reiner on the show of shows, writing for great, I can't remember his name. One of the great original TV comedians.
Jackie Gleason?
No,
Jonathan Winters.
no, tall, skinny, Uncle
Milton
Milty.
Berle.
Oh, yeah,
Milton
yeah,
Berle.
yeah, yeah.
Yep, Milton Berle. They were co-writers on that, and did sketches on the show of shows, and then came Get Smart. I didn't realize that producers was the beginning.
Yeah, first one,
Now,
67.
That's how you start off a career.
I know, that's a good start.
Fuck.
It didn't it win the Best Original Screenplay Academy Award?
I have no idea.
I believe
I
so.
don't have my phone, so I can't cheat and look.
I can cheat.
I am Google-less.
Yeah, it was 1967.
Yep. And then what was after that? I can't see your list, Mark.
The 12 Chairs
12 Chairs.
was 1970, yeah, which I haven't seen that one.
It's good. It's really good.
It seems really weird. I never
is.
had heard of it till
Yeah.
this, and what it's about, they're looking for family jewels and hidden in one chair of a set of 12.
Yes. It's
And
all
I
about
watched the trailer, and I was like, I don't even know what this movie's about. It looks so weird.
What's really funny is it's my dad's favorite
Yeah.
Mel Brooks movie, which is odd to me because I own it. I watched it a couple times. It's very clever. It's very good. It's very not Mel Brooks.
It doesn't seem like it. And it's like it's between the producers and Young Frankenstein, and it's
Yeah.
Don't get me
odd
started
man
on
out.
What were you about to say?
Frankenstein already.
We're not getting there yet.
Yeah, I know.
What, you don't like
Well,
it?
Um,
Oh, do you
It's
like
one of
it
my
too
favorite
much?
movies of all time.
Too much.
Yeah.
Just excited to
Yeah.
jump into it. You know
Yeah,
what it is.
yeah.
Yeah, if we let Chris talk about it, we might not get
So
off topic.
basically, the 12 Chairs is an outlier in his career.
Yeah,
It's like
it
the
really
least
is.
like his other movies.
It really is.
If it wasn't a Brooks film project, it was the least like his other films in
Yeah.
his filmography.
But it's still a wonderful movie. I mean, it's really, it's a great movie. It's just not a Mel Brooks movie.
Not what we've come to expect from a Mel
Yeah.
Brooks movie.
Yeah,
So there's really no slapstick in this one then?
there's a little, not much.
Yeah.
Not
Because I've never seen this one either.
I'll bring it over sometime. We can watch it.
Okay.
Well,
I'm down.
It's,
We'll
I
no-
think
we'll
it's
nosh
on.
and
I
watch
think
it.
it's on YouTube.
Well, I have it on DVD too. So,
But do you have it in 4K?
I don't know if
think anybody does.
I don't think there's a single Mel Brooks title on 4K yet.
Why would you need it in 4K? That's my
Yeah, you
question.
don't.
Do you
You
really
really
need that great cinema experience with a Mel Brooks movie?
Probably not. No.
He's a very talented director.
Young
is.
Frankenstein looks very beautiful.
It's a beautiful movie.
Yeah.
It is. But
With the sepia tones.
that's
and
the greatest year any filmmaker has ever had, by the way.
With Blazing 74, with Blazing Saddles and Young Frankenstein, I know.
No director has ever had a better year than Mel Brooks' 1974.
In movies that, lasted, people still.
Oh, one of them is the most offensive movies in the history of cinema,
Blazing.
and my favorite.
They both have offensive moments in it.
Oh yeah,
Let's be fair.
I remember the first time I ever saw Blazing Saddles being like, did they really just say that word in a movie? Like being in utter shock.
Oh, I wasn't.
No?
I couldn't stop laughing.
Yeah.
Could not stop laughing. Madeline Kahn in that movie is one of the greatest things
she's
I've
funny.
ever seen
Yeah, she's great.
in my life. Is it true what they say? Oh, it's true. It's true. Fade to black.
Mongo not no.
She-
Mongo only pawn in Game of Life.
I watched, that was one that I kind of saw bits and pieces throughout the years on TV or here and there, and I decided to actually sit down and watch it straight through, and I realized that it kind of parodies a little bit the movie Destry Rides Again,
Oh, absolutely.
and I was kind of shocked by that.
Absolutely. Yeah. Mel was so good at observing everybody else's movies and seeing what made their movies absurd.
I love
And
that movie too,
just
Destry Rides Again.
taking it up a notch.
But there's Marlene Dietrich does a number that's like really similar to the scene.
I'm tired. I'm tired
Yeah.
of playing the game.
And she, like, the whole, like, it's really similar. Like, the actual song that she does and the role she plays and her relationship with Jimmy Stewart and or the way that character is it's I didn't realize it.
I love that the main character's name is Black Bart.
Yes.
I wish they could have gotten who was supposed to originally play it.
Who was it supposed to be initially?
It was originally supposed to be Richard Pryor.
He was credited as one of the writers on that movie too. Yeah.
Richard Pryor helped write it. That's why.
Why didn't he do it?
Drugs.
No, actually, it's something
And
else. It's something
being a
else.
hothead.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really that he and Mel couldn't agree on a lot of the stuff on screen. They could agree on how to write it. They could not agree on how to perform it.
Interesting. It would have been fascinating to see though how he wanted to do it.
There was also a TV show
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
for it that they did a pilot for, and then it never went any farther.
A pilot of Blazing Saddles.
Yeah,
Really?
yeah,
It's probably too offensive for.
yeah. It was called Black Bart.
Yeah. Too much for TV.
That would have
No,
gone
hot
over
for
really
TV.
well on television.
It
In
actually
any
wasn't
era,
bad.
really.
Yeah.
It wasn't bad. It was more in the Archie Bunker line. You know,
So not racist at all.
racist, but in the poking fun at racist ways. The same way the movie is. They just had to tone down the language.
Yeah,
And
honestly,
obviously it failed.
Yeah.
Blazing Saddles, I don't really think could be made now.
Oh, it absolutely could not.
I
Could
think
not.
with the culture, I mean, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
No,
You know, I mean,
it is a movie of its time.
It is, and it's but I mean, it is. Its heart's in the right place.
It is.
It's very different than what we would find acceptable now. But I mean, in 1974, it was really progressive.
Oh, incredibly. It was really
So-
funny. I went to art school, and I had about 15 people at my school that had never seen it. So I brought it in and played it there.
Yeah.
And one person complained to a teacher. And the teacher came in to see what we were watching. They're watching something horribly racist. Da, 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 da. And the teacher comes in and pokes his head in the TV room and is like, "Are you watching Blazing Saddles?" I'm like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Oh." And comes and gets a chair and sits and watched it with us. And it was really interesting to me because there was two of the guys were African American and that hadn't seen it and really didn't ever want to see it. And so I really had to push and talk them into seeing it. By the time they left, they were quoting it and couldn't stop for like 6 months quoting that movie. And I was like, see? I'm like, it's not offensive. I'm like, yes, they say horrible words.
It has potentially offensive elements, but it's not used to offend people.
Right. Right. As long as you take it as humor, it's humor.
it's in the context.
It is.
You
It
know
is.
how it's
Where are the
used.
white women at? It's one of the greatest lines in movie history.
I don't have this one. I need to get this one.
Yeah, I think I have an extra copy if you want.
Yeah, this needs to be in my collection.
Yeah. This should be in everybody's collection.
Yes.
It really should. If you can find the collector's edition DVD. It has the pilot for the TV show.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's in there.
Cool.
And who played Black Bart in
I
the...
can't remember. I want to say it was Louis Gossett Jr.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It was somebody like that. I can't remember who it is off the top of my head, though. If you guys Google it, you can find it. It's called Black Bart.
Louis Gossett Jr. Man, that is a name I have not heard in a very long time.
Okay, Darth.
Yeah,
I sense a presence I haven't felt in a
yeah,
very
but
long
seriously.
No, I know. He actually just got cast in something fairly big.
Yeah.
And I can't remember what it is.
He's got to be like 90, dude.
He's not that old.
No?
No.
Say he's... Because what was it? Iron... what was the...
Iron Eagle.
Yeah.
And 1, 2, 3, and 4.
Chappie.
Chappie.
Yeah.
God. I just rewatched the first couple
Oh
of
my
those.
God, they're so bad, dude.
They are. I love them.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Now,
Tell us what you think about Young Frankenstein.
Oh my God, Young Frankenstein. My mom actually introduced me to this movie
Me
when I
too.
was a kid.
My dad.
Yeah, we used to watch this movie all the time. And then my mom had never really worked, and she got this job at this architecture firm, working at the front desk. And everybody in the office, this was their favorite movie. So we used to play volleyball like once a week, and the entire time we played volleyball, we'd be quoting Young Frankenstein. Yeah.
That's great.
Because you would never put those two things hand in hand. But yeah.
Volleyball and Young Frankenstein.
Yeah. Yeah.
If everything is larger, that would mean he has an enormous Schwanstucke.
Yeah. I just love the way this takes the classic Frankenstein tale
Yeah.
and just flips it completely fucking sideways.
Yeah, until it's Frankenstein.
Yeah, Frankenstein. Yeah. Terry Garr in this movie.
She's great.
I have had a crush on her ever since I saw this the first time.
Yeah.
I think I saw like on the special features on the Blu-ray I have of Young Frankenstein. They got her because they thought she was cute, and then they just didn't realize like
She's the
how much
funniest
screen
fucking
presence
woman.
she would have, and like how hilarious she could be. And they were like, "Wow, we like struck gold with this one."
Oh
woman.
yeah, between her and Madeline Kahn,
I know.
it's two of the funniest women in the history of
Madeline
cinema.
Kahn is just, it goes without saying. Her like voice, she comes in and she's just, taffeta, darling, taffeta.
Heat
I wish I-
rising off my body.
But that's funny because my mom loved that movie too. And I remember she got that when I was probably a teenager or in middle school and was like, okay, we're watching this
Yeah.
movie. And she knew all the lines. She knew everything. She was cracking up. And I was kind of like, it's not that funny. And like, I didn't like it at first because I was like, you think it's too funny.
And then you watch
But-
it again and
yeah.
again and again and again.
Yeah.
You're like, Mom's right.
Yeah, I was like, this
When
is
Terry
really
Garr-
funny.
When Terry Garr's like, want to take a roll in the hay?
Yeah,
I'm
that's
like,
so funny.
yes, yes, I do.
And rolling the hay.
That was my first Peter Boyle movie too. First time I saw him in anything, and every movie I saw after that, I was like, "Oh, it's
It's Frankenstein.
That's Frankenstein. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, the monster. Sorry.
I just think of We're not the rats
Yep.
when he inadvertently lights his thumb on fire.
Oh
Yeah.
God. And it's that
Dabney Coleman.
he's good. That scene's so good. It's like, or no, that's Gene Hackman in that scene.
Oh, Gene Hackman. Yeah.
Well, it's like it's great because it's so loving, that one. If you watch those old Universal, especially the first two, I think there's kind of parodies, all of them like that. But the first two, especially the ones I know the best. So it's like that scene with the blind man, and it's like such a touching scene, and it's like it's funny in Young Frankenstein, but it's like the heart of that scene's like still there.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
It's still Frankenstein.
yeah.
And
Oh
the
yeah.
look of the movies too.
It's like it fits in with the Frankenstein mythos.
And let's not forget Marty Feldman.
Oh, he's great too.
Oh,
Abby Normal.
my God.
Brain.
What were you gonna say, Andrew?
Oh, I was just going to say that they even lit and shot it the same way that they did the original Universal pictures. So it really does feel like they could have lifted it out of that period and just dropped it into the 1970s.
Yeah.
They even found the rental house that rented all of the electrical
That's
and
right.
lab equipment from the original Frankenstein.
Really?
That's all
That's
the real
right.
stuff. Everything that you see on that set is the stuff from the original Frankenstein.
That's
Wow.
crazy.
Yeah.
Just that
It's-
extra
They
layer of attention to detail.
Oh, yeah.
Really.
Oh,
It-
yeah.
It's like it's a parody, but it's
It's
not
so-
done in
such
like
a
a
love
make
letter.
fun way. Yeah.
It's such a love letter.
And my favorite scene is when he stabs his leg with the scalpel. Frankenstein. That always cracked me up.
That and the guy with the wooden arm, the
inspector.
the Burgermeister. Yes,
Yeah, Inspector
Okay.
Kemp.
Kemp. That's it. All of his scenes killed me. Whenever he'd salute and he's
Yeah. Hitting himself in the head.
oh yeah, oh such good stuff. Like that is one of the few movies where there's no slow, like unfunny parts of the movie.
No.
That one plugs along, yeah.
It's continually you're laughing from the beginning to the end, and it tells a wonderful story, and it's so satisfying.
Well, and that's the thing I always think about when I look back at comedies like this. Like, yeah, it's a satire too, but it's funny from front to back. They don't make things like this anymore.
They try, and they don't know how.
Yeah.
They don't know how. It's all a matter of there's no love.
It's too forced.
Right.
Well, I don't think there's love. There's no appreciation for what they're making fun of anymore. And
Well-
for Mel, it really, like, if you look, he really loves the subject matter that he's teasing.
Yeah. You can tell. There's something in the soul that you can just see.
There's heart.
Yeah.
And then, like, the remember the Spartans there's no heart whatsoever.
Yeah, it's like they don't like those movies.
No, it's like let's make fun
Yeah,
of stuff
yeah.
instead of let's have fun with this stuff.
Yeah.
They're insincere. There's a sincerity in
Yeah.
Mel Brooks' parodies.
Right.
That's heartwarming and
Well,
wonderful.
and I think like with something like this, the same as like we're going to talk about Spaceballs in a little bit, like
Yeah.
there's this partnership. There's a trade-off between like Gene Wilder and Peter Boyle and Marty Feldman and Madeline Kahn and Terry Garr. Like they all exist in the same space in the movie, and they all share the comedy routine. It's it's a team. It's not like, hey, I just need to pop this joke in here, this dick or shit joke,
the
because
Right.
that's what
Working
most of them
together.
are now.
Yeah.
Right.
the put the candle back is one of the funniest scenes, and it wouldn't work if everybody in it wasn't perfect.
You're right.
You know what I mean?
They all
Like,
play off each other. They all
mean,
feed.
Yeah, and there's this respect and for the craft, for what came before, and for each other that is just makes these movies perfect.
And
Yeah.
you know, he used a lot of the same people too. Madeline Kahn, Harvey Korman, and so it's like,
God, Harvey Korman.
you know, these people
one of the
have
funniest
have
human
the chemistry
beings.
together. And,
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah, Cloris Leachman. She was in Silent, right?
yeah.
Trying to think.
She's
what
in
was
Silent Movie. She's in
She's in Blazing Saddles, right?
no.
No, I watched. I'm confusing them now. She was in High Anxiety.
Yes, that's it. That's it. And Cloris Leachman is one of my favorite human beings ever put on the face of the earth. She is so funny and
is.
such a sweet woman too. So what do we have after the masterpiece of Young Frankenstein?
Silent Movie.
Silent.
I loved that one.
It's a good.
I had
Good-
so much
good
fun watching
movie.
that one.
But it's one of those ones. It felt almost like a misstep. Like there's. You can tell the love's there, but you're gonna laugh. The funniest person in the movie is the least funny person to me. Dom DeLuise.
Yeah,
I didn't think he was as funny as he normally is in it.
yeah.
And he kind of killed it. Where
He's in the hospital bed and he's making all these faces.
yeah.
I'm trying to remember. Like I haven't seen it in a long time. I know I liked it, and
Oh,
I
like I said-
remember the gist of it,
Yeah.
but I don't remember the details. But I remember I really liked it.
It's really, I mean, it is a really good movie. It's No History of the World Part 2 or Part 1, but it's good. It's good.
And this movie had Sid Caesar in it too.
Yes.
Bernadette Peters.
Yep. And wasn't Anne Bancroft in it too?
Yeah, they have the scene I really remember is the scene in the like nightclub, and they do the dance, and she's hitting people and knocking stuff around.
The fact that she's Mel's wife.
I'm guessing they met on the set of this movie.
I know.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so.
What's that?
That no, they actually met way before that.
Oh, really?
They met in the 50s.
Oh.
Anne Bancroft, Mel Brooks' wife.
Yeah.
It kills me that she's Mel Brooks' wife. Like, you see her especially in her younger days. She's one of the most beautiful women in the history of Hollywood.
She was beautiful even when she was dying.
I was going to say, she's never stopped being beautiful. Yeah. But in her heyday, she really was like a goddess. And she married Mel fucking Brooks.
He's funny.
I know. It's amazing to me that how far funny will get you.
She stars in 2 of the Brooks films movies also, 84 Charing Cross Road and The Elephant Man, but we'll get to those later. I'm jumping ahead.
And then they were husband and wife in To Be or Not to Be.
Yep.
Yeah. Interesting story behind that one. One of these days I'll tell you guys about it.
Ooh.
Oh.
Well, we got time. No, when I was a kid, we had this giant falling out with my grandparents. We used to spend every Christmas Eve with them. And this is one of those like childhood memory type things that you never forget. So we had this falling out with my grandparents. This Christmas Eve, we were not spending with them. So, and I know this is not a Mel Brooks directed movie. He just starred in this with her. But yeah, so Christmas Eve rolls around. We're like, oh, what are we going to do? Oh, let's go see a movie. Oh, let's not just go see a movie. Let's go see a movie at the Renaissance Center movie theater. So we saw To Be or Not to Be on Christmas Eve. And it's just one of those memories, like, you kind of connect with actors. That was just
that one.
Yeah.
Was one of yours.
Yeah. So
that's awesome.
Yep.
That's not a
and
bad
like
thing.
it was like me, my mom, dad, my brother, and like 2 other people in the theater.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
That's great. That's a great movie theater experience for me.
In the old vinyl seats,
Did you enjoy it?
Heil Hitler.
Yeah.
Heil Hitler. Heil to myself.
Heil myself. Heil myself.
Yeah, that movie's awesome. I love that movie. All right. So after Silent Movie is High Anxiety.
Which was the one that I didn't dig that much.
I dig it just because I'm a huge Alfred Hitchcock fan.
I am too, and I think if the look of it I didn't like. I kind of thought that maybe if he had done more like with Young Frankenstein, trying to make a more like
accurate
look.
Well, I think the shot arrangement and the way he moved the camera, he was making fun of a lot of those Hitchcockian tracking shots. Like, doesn't the camera bump into him at one point?
Yes.
And
it makes fun of almost everything.
Vertigo in particular.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like, he could have made it black and white, or he could have done like a Technicolor, but it was just very drab brown 70s look, and it was.
True.
I just my like personal.
The color
aesthetic.
Palette was
the color
really
palette
off.
was gross.
Yeah.
But that's just what 1977. That was like hot. So. But like, there's a lot of funny
jokes
jokes
hot
in it.
North by Northwest.
Mm-hmm.
But North by Northwest has more color to it. It's a brighter movie.
Yeah,
it's not as brown.
Yeah.
The 50s weren't brown. The 70s were.
It's got a lot of scenes of the camera crashing through sets, like the camera's pulling back for the last tracking shot, and it crashes through part of the set, and as it gets to the wide shot, we see part of the set's been damaged by the camera.
Yeah, because that's the only way you could fucking do it in real life.
It was like one of those. Was that Blazing Saddles was the first time he started doing the movie within movie tropes, where the camera pans to the left or right, and we see the film crew filming the movie that we're watching.
In Blazing Saddles, they bust into the musical number being shot, which is funny because it's kind of like up until that point, Hollywood's kind of just like completely overrun by musicals and westerns. So it's like,
Andrew, I have to tell you, John Allen says hi.
Hi.
Hey.
All right.
Hi, John.
Hello, John.
How are you, John?
Hi, John. Didn't say hi to
John.
me, but hi.
Yeah, he doesn't like us. We're not cool enough. It's fine. I understand how it is, John.
John.
I'm not going to say that accusatorily, John.
All right.
Yeah, I didn't really think about that until now, like that he did really play a lot to other movies.
Yeah. That was his thing.
Young Frankenstein, silent movie, High Anxiety, Spaceballs. Yeah.
And
I had never
Robin
really
Hood,
even,
Men in Tights.
Yeah,
I was
I had
saying.
never really thought about this.
Dracula Dead and Loving It.
Yeah. So next up on our list is History of the World Part 1.
That's one of the ones I haven't seen.
That is probably my third favorite Mel Brooks movie. Gregory Hines kills me in this movie. He is so funny. Mel is so funny in this one.
Inquisition.
Yeah. Oh,
Good to be the king.
yeah. It's
That's
good
the
to
one
be
that it's
king.
from.
It's good to be king. That's right. Have you seen it?
Yeah. Mel plays a bunch of roles in this too.
Oh, he
Moses,
does.
Comicus, Torquemada, Jacques,
Yeah.
and King Louis.
Yep.
I like the 2001 parody at the beginning
Yes.
with the cavemen and
Yep.
how they create music
Yep.
by dropping a rock on his foot.
Yeah. That's how they learn to sing.
No, I honestly I have not seen this one in a very, very long
Oh.
time.
It's been over 10 years for me.
It's been over 3 months for me.
Sounds like my sex life.
Oh.
TMI.
Well,
I gotta throw them out there whenever I can. You know, gotta stay entertaining somehow.
let me know when you figure it out.
Yeah, I will.
No, honestly, this has some of the best. It's a little bit more of a Monty Python send up than it is anything. Which I dig because it's more sketch comedy than it is overall plot.
The episodic platform.
But there is an overall plot through the whole movie, which is great.
Narrated by Orson Welles, right?
Yes, it is. It is. And yeah, everybody must see it.
Yeah, that's one I've always
Must.
wanted to see. That's, there's a lot of movies I like see parts of, and I haven't really sat down and watched, or I've seen. I don't know how I've seen.
Again, Madeline Kahn is a goddess in this.
That's one.
Yeah, I
watch.
mean, a very repetitious cast in this too. Dom DeLuise, Madeline Kahn, Harvey Korman, Cloris Leachman. Yeah,
his peeps.
Yeah.
which is great. I love that. I love when a director like latches onto people and reuses them, especially in comedy, because they just get tighter and tighter as they go.
And this
Yeah.
one is, I think, the last of them all working together, if I remember
I think so
correctly.
too. Yep.
And it feels like it. It feels like it is a machine. Through
Peak
the whole
performance.
Thing. Oh, yeah. And Mel Brooks doing a song and dance routine in the middle of this as the head of the Inquisition.
The Inquisition.
It's a show, the Inquisition. Yeah. Is wonderful.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Like,
Good
All
to be
right.
king.
it is good to be king.
Are we ready for Spaceballs?
Who's not ready for Spaceballs?
Well, are we talking about his movies, or are we going to mention Brooks films?
We're basically just covering the ones that he directed.
Okay.
Was there another one you wanted to mention though?
Well, I mentioned two of them: the 84 Charing Cross Road and The Elephant Man. Basically helped launch David Lynch's career. But The Fly, he produced The Fly.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Cronenberg's The Fly, which
Oh wow, yeah.
you would not think of Mel Brooks at all watching that movie.
No.
No,
I'm not
that's his
surprised though
job. He's a producer.
because of how into David Lynch he was. I mean, from what I've heard, he's like saw Eraserhead and was like, this guy's a madman. I love him.
Yeah.
And
How could he not look at Cronenberg and do the same
exactly,
thing?
yeah, yeah. That's why I wore my Twin Peaks shirt today because of Mel Brooks.
You see, I had no idea about any of that.
I didn't know about the David Lynch thing.
Well,
I knew about the Cronenberg thing. I didn't know about the Lynch thing.
well, he was trying to branch out into doing dramatic films, but he didn't want to put his name on them because people would think, oh, it's a comedy. They won't take it seriously.
Right.
So they created the logo Brooks Films and a number of dramas and science fiction pictures were produced on it. Among them,
That's pretty cool.
of course, the Elephant Man and the Fly. And 84 Charing Cross Road was actually a wedding anniversary present to Anne Bancroft. She had read the book and wanted to get the rights to it, and was
So
having
he got the
difficulty.
rights?
He just cleared it all up and greenlit it.
It's amazing what having a little power in Hollywood can do.
And a little bit of
Aw,
money.
sweet.
Yeah, or a lot of bit of money.
Yeah, he's got a lot of bit of money. I'm sure. I'm sure.
If he doesn't, then he did something very wrong.
Yes, yes. So, Spaceballs.
Spaceballs,
Dude. It's so awesome.
raspberry.
You know what? I'm surrounded by
Nobody
assholes.
gives me the raspberry.
We ain't found shit. We could just quote this
I could
forever.
quote
I lost the bleeps,
This-
I lost
I-
the sweeps, and I lost the creeps.
The what? The beeps.
It's all that bubbling and churning. You call it a radar? No, we call it Mr. Coffee.
She's gone from suck to blow.
Pizza the Hut tragically ate himself to death.
World's Pizza is going to send out
Not
for
for
you.
I
Lone
love when
Star.
that guy
That's
takes
all-
a bite out of him.
That's all we
He
need.
says, "You're delicious."
A Druish princess.
I see your Schwartz is as big as mine.
Your helmet is so big.
Why didn't anybody tell me my ass was so big?
I think
Hello, President Skroobed.
it's kind of funny, like when he when he released this movie, because this was 4 years after Return of the Jedi,
It was 88.
87.
4
So,
years. It's 3 years.
well, it was 83. Was Return of the Jedi 83? You don't have your phone. It's 83.
Yeah.
So, anyways, it's just kind of funny that you'd think he would have tried to tag on to the back end of the Star Wars craze, and instead you've got 4 years.
Smart,
And
I think.
yeah,
He didn't need to.
Yeah.
He's Mel Brooks.
yeah.
Well, funny
I
story.
mean, he fucking waited 50 years to do Frankenstein.
True.
So come on.
What were you
Yeah.
gonna say?
let's see
And-
if- oh, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say I love the merchandising jokes.
Oh,
That's the best.
That's what I was going to get to, actually, was he went to George Lucas, reportedly, asked for his blessing, and he says, you can do your movie, but you can't sell any toys or create a toy line. That's off limits. So the merchandising scene went into the movie as a result of that exchange. That,
merchandising.
That's good.
Merchandising. Merchandising.
where the real money for the movie's made.
Yogurt
Spaceballs
the
the
Yogurt, the
flamethrower.
yogurt.
Yogurt the wise, yogurt the wonderful,
I hate yogurt, even with strawberries.
just plain yogurt. Yeah, I mean,
Oh, John Candy in that movie, too.
I'm a Mog. Half man, half dog. I'm my own best friend.
It's
Joan
goofy.
Rivers.
Oh, Joan Rivers is great.
yeah, Joan
And
Rivers.
she actually came in after they'd finished the movie and redubbed all those lines.
Yeah.
I think the person who was in the suit originally did it, and Mel Brooks was like, "This isn't funny."
No,
You've
we
captured
we
the
need
stunt
to actually,
doubles.
Yeah,
We actually need Joan Rivers for this.
yeah.
Oh, the
And she
stunt
came in
doubles.
and just watched the movie and riffed on it. And
Yeah,
can we talk?
because she's fucking Joan Rivers.
Was a genius,
She was. Missed.
a genius. Yeah,
Evil always wins because good
Good
is
is
dumb.
Rick Moranis couldn't have been better
Yeah.
Oh,
as their comment.
Well, I think this was the first time Bill Pullman had done comedy also.
Actually, not quite. Ruthless People.
Oh, that's
yeah.
right. That's
I forgot he
right.
was in that.
He does the role too. He does it really well too, because he does it in a very sincere way to where he's kind of acting like he's not in a comedy.
I'm a bona fide prince.
So this movie didn't really just play to the whole Star Wars trope, though. It was kind of like a Disney princess thing,
Oh, yeah.
quite a bit.
I think so,
too.
yeah.
Like
It's
they
kinda
really,
funny. He kind of called Princess Leia a Disney princess
yeah,
30 years before
Well-
Disney bought Lucas.
yeah.
There
I
was
mean, it fits.
there was also some Lawrence of Arabia parodies. They're walking
A
through the
lot.
desert, and Wizard of Oz, of course, comes up. And they sneak in a lot of science fiction.
There's some the Star Trek thing, the snotty beam me up thing is.
Yeah.
It's snotty.
He beamed me twice last night.
Hello, my baby. Hello, my honey. Hello, my ragdoll.
Yeah,
gal.
that's
Oh, yeah,
like
Alien.
Alien. I loved that ending. I loved that.
That was also a Douglas Adams restaurant at the end of the universe
Yeah.
joke.
And John Hurt came back for that part too, right?
Yes, he did.
This
Yeah.
must be Millie
And you know what?
Oh, not again.
So when I was really little, my parents watched the show St. Elsewhere, and there was a Halloween episode where someone like comes in and like the alien busts out, you know, and I never saw that before, and I thought like that could actually happen to you.
Oh no! So
Oh, it can.
Spaceballs.
So like every time like I feel a little sick to my stomach, I'd be like, oh no, it's gonna happen, you know, and
Oh wow!
so like when I had seen Spaceballs and I saw that, it kind of like broke all the fear for me.
Yeah.
So it was like a sublime moment
when
for
all
me.
of a sudden it comes out and it's a Looney Tunes cartoon all of a sudden.
Yes.
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah, and sad thing is, you know, used to come out of your belly, and then all of a sudden it comes out of your back in Covenant. Ruined it.
Oh, come on.
Only for you.
I hate that movie.
I know you did.
I didn't.
I'm
I
sorry.
didn't get to see that one yet.
I liked
No,
it.
don't.
Why?
I will.
Why?
I liked it. It was
It
fun.
hurts me. It hurts
Because
me.
I don't do that whole like latch onto things and think that anything's sacred.
Yeah, I don't know. So, Spaceballs.
Yeah, it's not
I
a good
mean-
alien movie.
Spaceballs is not a good alien movie.
No, it's a terrible alien movie.
But I mean, this movie is still like
It's still relevant and still
it's
funny.
very relevant. They did the animated series for a while that was
yeah.
on. I never watched
saw
it.
Yeah,
I
never
think it
saw
was
the
pretty
anime.
good though. People seem to like it. I think it went
Yeah.
for a couple seasons.
think
You
so.
know, I would like to see them make a sequel though.
Fast
Yeah.
forward past this part. In fact, never play this part again. When will then be now? Soon.
We just missed it.
What?
What was it going to be? Spaceballs: The Quest for More Money.
Yes.
The search for more money.
God, they should definitely
They
do a
definitely
sequel.
need to do that.
It's very timely.
It would be perfect timing.
Well, yeah, and I mean, I can't. They were talking about like recasting Barf at some point. I know somebody had mentioned
They
something
can't do
about
that.
They can't do
What
that.
would they do though? Just have a different character, maybe?
Yeah,
Just
Maybe.
not have
That's
them
what I
there.
think would be.
Just have him
Yeah.
be a hologram and come up with a story
just CGI him
for how he passed on.
and de-age him. All.
The de-aging doesn't
I'm
bother
joking.
me, but the John Candy's dead. Let's let him stay.
Yeah,
dead.
let's let him stay dead. So, are we done with Spaceballs?
I think we're done with Spaceballs.
Let him stay either
Yeah.
mostly dead or all dead.
Mostly dead.
Mostly. All right. So, what do we have after
He was all the
Spaceballs?
way dead.
Life Stinks.
Yeah, that movie stunk.
I didn't watch that one, but
That
it
movie
looks
was-
like it's bad.
That's actually probably the worst of his bottom two of his movies.
He's a rich man who takes a bet to live kind of slumming it on the streets.
So,
He
is
bets
this
with Jeffrey
kind of
Tambor.
trading places over again,
It's Trading Places done worse.
and which sucks?
Yeah. Trading Places was done perfectly. This one was done very poorly. It has its moments.
There's a Blu-ray box set of the Mel Brooks collection, and it's not included in it.
Yeah, I've got
I'm
that
not
thing.
surprised.
I didn't even
I mean, it's-
realize that it wasn't in there. That's how bad this movie
It's
is.
odd that it would even like it's talk about an outlier. I mean,
It and 12 Chairs are the weird outliers, but I
12
mean,
Chairs
Dracula,
holds up better than this
Dracula
one does.
Dead and Loving It isn't in any of the box sets either.
No.
No,
that's a snub.
there's a reason for it. It's terrible.
I love that movie.
Well, let's hit Robin Hood Men in Tights really quick.
We're men. We're men in tights. Tight.
There's a musical number in every one of these movies.
That's
and,
probably
and I
the
can
last
sing
Yeah.
them all. It's
true
bad.
Mel Brooks movie that really
Or
found
a dance number, a musical. There's always like
Yeah.
the like Broadway moment.
But it was his last one to gain a following. He never had a hit like that again after.
No, that was the end of his.
Dracula Dead and Loving It was fun for the diehards, but it didn't. It wasn't a mainstream hit like Robin Hood Men in Tights
I
was.
just didn't think it was as funny. But anyways, back to Men in Tights.
Yeah, I have a lot to say about Dead and Loving It when we get to it.
Oh, good. School me.
You know, and there's still a pretty good cast for Robin Hood.
Oh my God, Dave Chappelle before he was Dave Chappelle.
Richard
Right.
Lewis when he was still funny.
Tracy Ullman,
Carrie Elwes.
Yeah.
Carrie Elwes.
Carrie Elvis is
Yeah.
he's great.
legend.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I can speak with a British accent, unlike some Robin Hoods.
I love Tracy Ullman. She says her name's Latrine, and they're like, Latrine?
Yeah. It used
Like,
to be
well, it used to be
Shithouse.
That's great.
It's one of my favorite lines.
Richard Lewis is really funny in that one.
It's like a Sata at Vincent Price's house.
I want to rewatch that one. I haven't seen that one.
I haven't watched it in a long time.
But that was when they used to. I feel like they used to play on Comedy Central all the time, and I would
did.
just sit there and watch the whole thing whenever that one was on.
Amy Yazbek was in this too. As
Yes, she
Marianne.
was. Yeah.
Yeah, and she was hot.
Of his movies, I think that one gets the most television replay out of all the ones that I've seen.
You're
Yeah.
probably right. I remember seeing that on TV a lot.
Because it has the least offensive stuff going on.
And it's the newest one, so
Dracula did
newer
one.
audiences can relate to it more.
But it's also, like, literally the least offensive. I mean, the worst line in that entire movie is, his name is a Chew. Did you say a Jew? I mean, that's like the most offensive line in the whole
Right.
thing.
You just reminded me too. Spaceballs is one of those rare PG movies that drops an F-bomb.
Yes.
Out of order? Fuck! Even in the future, nothing works.
In the 80s, we had very different
We had
standards.
Standards have changed.
I think this gives us an idea for actual podcast episode, though. We should do an episode on the most quotable movies.
Quotable movies.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
I mean, because there's a lot of
that
them.
could be a 5-part series.
Yeah,
We'd have
but
to
we could
space them out throughout the year.
we could pick our favorite like 4
Yeah.
and cover them because we'd be just sitting here saying quotes the
Quoting
entire
movies, that'd be
time.
great.
But yeah, at some point we should.
I mean, this one has some of my favorite Mel Brooks quotes are actually in Men in Tights. The part where Blinken is up on the top of the watchtower
Blinken.
looking, and he says, "Blinken, what are you doing up there?" "I'm guessing. I guess no one's coming." It's so terrible. It makes me so happy.
I wonder what happened, like why he kind of petered out. I mean,
I think he just got tired of doing satires, and that's all anybody wanted to give him money for.
yeah.
he was getting up there in age too, and he
Yeah.
can't keep doing it forever.
Yeah,
Yes,
he
you
had
can.
he had to be in his 60s by then.
Look at Clint Eastwood.
Clint Eastwood's movies still make a lot of money. I'm not sure how much Dracula Dead and Loving It made.
Yeah.
It bombed.
Yeah. Because I think this was almost like kind of like a direct-to-video kind of thing.
Damn close.
Like, because
Yeah,
I remember it was like out in the movies, and then it was like on VHS, like a couple months later.
That's how, like, I had Dracula Dead and Loving It on VHS for some reason. I bought it, you know.
For
and-
some reason.
Yeah, it's
She
like
likes it.
really weird. Well, I just had it in my house. I don't know, and I watched it all the time. I watched it obsessively. I know this movie by heart. It was like one of my favorites in middle school. Yeah, and it's like, I know it's bad. Well, I don't think it's bad,
If
personally.
it makes you laugh and you have fun with it, it's not a bad movie.
The sets are crap.
Oh, yeah.
They're crap.
Yeah.
I mean, all the Mel Brooks movies are slapstick, but I would say that one's probably like
the most.
The most.
It's
like,
the most Leslie
it's-
Nielsen.
I was
Yeah.
going to say putting Leslie Nielsen probably didn't help matters because people were over the Naked Gun movies by the time that rolled around. And
That was kind of my issue, is that it was like that and Mr. Magoo came out in like rapid succession.
Yeah.
And I was already like, I don't care.
But I liked Leslie Nielsen. I don't know. I was
I was
like
for a
12, I
while.
think, and I think my favorite show was Animaniacs at the time. So
Animaniacs was everybody's favorite show.
so showing me Dracula Dead and Loving It, I was very excited.
Leslie
love that
Nielsen
one.
was like a national treasure, 100%.
for a while.
Yeah, but after a while, it got old.
Yeah.
And this came after that time.
Yeah, this was post. Was this post? The third.
Yeah,
30.
Yeah,
33
I'm
and a
pretty
half.
sure it is.
33 and a third. Yeah, I'm
33
pretty
and a
sure it
third,
was.
yeah.
But yeah, he did like Leslie Nielsen was in like tons of stuff for
he's in
Spy Hard, Family
of-
Plan, Mr. Magoo, Wrongfully Accused, 2001: A Space Travesty.
I was about to say
Yeah,
it was
I
another
mean-
straight to
That
video
was
thing.
so terrible.
Yeah, he was milking it at this point, which kind of sucked.
Yeah,
But-
because he was such a good satirical actor. I mean, him in Airplane.
Oh, dude.
It's weird to think that he was the male lead years back in Forbidden Planet.
Yeah.
I know,
Science
back
fiction
when he
film.
was
Yeah, he started
serious.
out as a
Yeah.
serious actor and then turned into the
guy with the fart machine in his pocket,
yeah.
So
which I have to
Parody
admit.
guy.
here's the thing that I put like 2 and 2 and 2 together as I was preparing for the podcast. So it's called Dracula Dead and Loving It. And I always thought, like, why is that the title? And Maxwell Smart's catchline is "and loving it."
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Like it's gonna be so dangerous, and you're gonna die. You may almost die, and he'd say, "and loving it."
And loving it.
And
Yep.
they made a Get Smart movie called The Nude Bomb,
Yes. Great movie.
which is very much like The Naked Gun
Yep.
that Leslie Nielsen was in.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
And then he plays Dracula, who's dead and loving it. So there's
There's our
the little
Bit of a-
line.
a
Yeah.
full circle.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if it's that amazing of a discovery, but I
It's not bad. It's not
I
bad.
put it all together today, and I was very
That's actually pretty
I
good.
was pretty happy
That's
about
pretty good.
that.
That's pretty good. I'm actually impressed. Yeah. I had never put together that and loving it.
Yeah.
thing. Yeah.
Get Smart was awesome. I remember I'd come home from school and watch that
Me
like every
too.
day for a while.
Me too. I
You know?
loved
Nick
that
at
one.
Night, Nick at Night, I think was who would broadcast in the
Yeah,
afternoon.
yeah, yep,
I
yeah.
wanted-
Nickelodeon.
I wanted a
itself.
shoe phone so bad.
Oh,
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
Oh yeah. That and the Monkeys were the two shows that I remember being
Yeah.
on when I came
I
home
like
from
the
school.
monkeys too.
Yeah. Then what?
We covered them all.
Yeah, that was his last movie.
95
that
was
he
it?
Directed. Yeah.
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 Now he I mean he still does stuff. I mean it's not like he's just sitting at home doing nothing, but
No,
There
but
was-
he's producing and I think writing.
There was a feature-length documentary about his life on PBS, which
that was really good. I actually watched it. Yeah.
He's actually doing a lot of voice acting.
Yes.
Blazing Samurai, Fairy Tale Forest, Hotel Transylvania 3.
Yeah. Well, he's in the second in 2 and 3.
Okay.
He's
oh yeah,
grandpa.
yeah.
he's got kind of like a Jimmy Durante voice. So I
He
can-
kind of does. He's great at the grandpas now.
So Spaceballs animated series ran from 2008 to 2009.
Okay, so,
So
one
one full season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was his involvement in it?
probably
He
producer and voice.
producer and voice. He did Skroobed and Yogurt on that too. So
Yeah. Can you imagine doing it without him?
no,
It wouldn't work.
no, hell no, hell no.
And then he also has been doing the Broadway stuff.
Yes.
You know, and that was several years of doing the getting the Broadway play ready for the producers.
I just hope when I'm his age, if I make it that far, I'm still that active because that's kind of
He is
crazy.
hysterical too.
Yeah.
Do you guys ever watch comedians in cars
Yes.
getting coffee?
Yes.
You got to watch the Mel Brooks episode
Yeah.
of that.
I saw that they go and he's hanging out with Carl Reiner and
They're
their
all
little
hanging out.
apartment, and
Yep.
they're
Yep.
just like so cute. I love it.
It's Jerry
I love it.
Seinfeld, Carl Reiner, and Mel Brooks sitting in Carl Reiner's little apartment
Yeah, and
watching
it's like
TV.
they're little like
Telling
you could just
stories.
see like how the relationship is too. They're just almost like a married couple.
They're like an old married
yeah.
couple. And that is one of the more wonderful things I've seen him do. And it was really cool to listen to him talk and like tell stories.
Yeah,
Very
that's a really good series in and of itself.
general,
but that's
yeah.
one of the best episodes though.
Yeah. Kate McKinnon was great on there too.
All right, let's wrap this up, folks.
Yes.
This was episode 108. We'll be back next week as long as the weather allows us to and nobody's sick or dead.
I'm gonna say we're not gonna be back next week just to make sure that we're not cursed.
We're probably
Yeah.
going to be covered under 3 inches of ice next
Yes,
week,
and phlegm and puke.
and maybe diarrhea.
And maybe a
Maybe
ladder.
diarrhea.
There might be a ladder on top of us too, but
Only one of us falls off ladder.
yeah, we'll talk about that later. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next week.
Good night.
Hopefully.
Perhaps.
Visit us at www.themoviesleuth.com and find The Movie Sleuth on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and iTunes.